Hello, I wanted to go over some coastal landforms and the processes that create them. Basically, we will be talking about deposition and erosion as the main processes that help create coastal landforms. So here we're looking at wave refraction, meaning waves bend around an irregular coastline. So notice we have a headland, or actually more than one. And so the headland is, part of the coastline that's sticking out. So as the waves bend around it, they concentrate their energy on it and erode it. So that's the first process that's happening. It's the headland is being eroded, or gradually being torn apart in a way. That sediment that is picked up from the headland is then deposited on the beaches. So over time, the headlands retreat as they are eroded. Then as the water or waves spread out into the inlets or beaches, they slow down and deposit their sediment, mostly in the form of sand. Okay, so here we have two processes, erosion and deposition. And the combination of the two processes means that over time, as the headlands retreat, as the beaches build up, then eventually we will end up with a straight coastline. We call this process coastal straightening. Here's another process. This one, the net result is going to be deposition, but first let me explain how this occurs. It's called beach drift and longshore currents. So a longshore current is a current that runs parallel to the coast. And as we see here, there are two things going on. One is waves are, washing on the beach. Waves usually come in at an angle. But when they come back, when they flush out, they do that at a 90-degree angle, so at a different angle, perpendicular to the beach. So what happens over time is that sediment, again in the form of sand, gets pushed in when the waves come in, and then it gets pulled back in a different direction when the wave goes out. Then another wave comes in and pushes that sediment forward a bit, and then it comes back out. So over time, as you can see, the sand or sediment is moving along the direction of the longshore current. Okay. As the longshore current continues, it will eventually come into an area where there's some open water, and the current slows down and deposits its sediment. So the net result is that a sand spit is formed. So the longshore current here, it's probably coming from this direction, that's the coastline, and over time it deposits its sediment, and over time that spit or extension of sediment continues to grow and becomes ever longer. Here we have an example of a sand spit that has extended all the way across the entrance to a bay. So here's the bay, and this sand spit has extended all the way across as the longshore current built it up with its sediment. And what we have left, this used to be a bay that was open to the ocean. Now it has been closed off, so it becomes a lagoon. So behind the bay mouth bar, which is what this is called now once it closes, we have a lagoon. Lagoons will have both fresh water coming in from streams that are coming down from the hills, and salt water that was the original water that was there. So the combination is brackish, right? We will have brackish water. Here's another depositional feature where instead of the sand spit that was deposited at the entrance of a bay or an inlet, here we have sand that has built up pretty much perpendicular to the coastline. And what it does is that it eventually connects in islands. So here we have a small island. It has been connected by a sand bridge as the deposition has grown to reach the island. This feature is called a tombolo. Another depositional feature are barrier islands. These are islands that are long and narrow, and they grow parallel to the coastline. These islands build up, again, by deposition as water or as ocean water deposits sediment when it reaches a shallow area that's near the coastline and deposits some of its sediment. Okay, behind it, we also have a lagoon that forms. Here's Ocean City, which is a city pretty much built on a barrier island. This is in the state of Maryland. This is pretty much a resort town, and you can see the satellite picture and the aerial picture of how that has been developed.